now, and our Barron threat indicator here on our Viper system still showing a 7.4 with 104 miles per hour of shear. So again, we can see this kind of rotation here. Spencer, you can see it's kind of reconsolidating there just to the north of Collinsville. I'm going to switch you back over to okay, I'm sorry. Okay, thank you. Yes, we were getting word from our producers. The warning for Etowah County goes until 1:45, and for right this second, there is no tornado warning for DeKalb County, Spencer. But again, I'm fairly confident there. Here it comes again. We now have a warning for DeKalb County until 1:45. Possible tornado near Collinsville. So again, that circulation is beginning to wrap back up here. And again, you're on the Viper right now, and you can see that very clearly as it approaches the city of Portersville. Again, this is near Collinsville or 11 miles south of Rainsville, moving northeast at 35. So again, we've got this storm continuing to be very strong in its radar representation. And again, I think I just saw a report as well of maybe we've got a reporter from DeKalb County Amateur Radio that a house on County Road 4 has collapsed. I don't know. That's a pretty serious situation if that is true. Again, that amateur radio is letting us know, Spencer, that a house has apparently collapsed on County Road 4. This would be in southern DeKalb County as this storm approached. And the Weather Service is updating us here, and they're asking everybody to be careful because we have additional severe and tornadic storms possible in this neck of in this part of our viewing area over the next hour or two as this storm approaches from the southwest as well. And again, we have they're commenting, Spencer, that we have a shear axis basically, or a maximized convergence zone basically from southern DeKalb County back to that storm west of Gadsden. So again, we may have a repeating tornado threat for the next couple. The Weather Service said that was on County Road 4. I think that's in southern DeKalb County.
And also, I'm getting reports in Blount County from Blount County, Alabama EMA. Rogers Road to Highway 231 is impassable. Also, house hit on Roden Road in Sardis, trapped in basement, no injuries reported. Several reports coming in now of damage, it looks like, based on what I'm seeing here, and I'm just going through some of those reports. And again, we'll continue to watch this, but there's still a possible destructive tornado out there in DeKalb County, and they've issued, as he said, they have actually extended the warning. The warning for DeKalb County goes until 1:45 a.m. So if you are in southern DeKalb County, near Collinsville, we've been talking about Collinsville, seems like for the last 30 or 45 minutes. So trying to give you folks as much heads up as possible. If you're in Collinsville, you need to be in your storm shelter, in your safe place right now. The area of rotation heading right over your area. It's 11 miles south of Rainsville. Rainsville, this is going to stay to your south and east as we expected, moving northeast only at 35 miles per hour, so not all that fast. So we're continuing to watch that. And so I'm just looking at some of the other reports here real quick on this storm from the folks there in DeKalb County, looking at reports on social media. A lot of reports coming in right now, and just seeing reports of a fatality confirmed in Tuscaloosa after a basement wall fell in on the victim. So unfortunately, these storms continue to be fatal tonight in some areas of Alabama, not just here in North Alabama, but in central Alabama as well. So our thoughts, prayers go out to those folks there in Tuscaloosa dealing with this type of weather as well. Again, what we're looking at here, and I'm going to go back, and what I'm going to show you again, we're looking at this storm here in Portersville.
I actually got an update. I need
Collinsville.
to recircle.
Yeah, the BTI still at 7.4. Still heading toward Fort Payne. Likelihood of a possible tornado on the ground near Portersville along I-59. This is tracking northeast. Again, here are the areas of impact: Dogtown, Hughes Mill, Fort Payne, Adamsburg, Wills Valley, and Pumpkin Center. These are all the areas Portersville, it's right on top of you right now, so you should be taking shelter. If you live in between Fort Payne and Portersville, you need to be in your safe place immediately. You need to go to the lowest level, stay in the lowest part of your home or apartment. You need to go to the center of the house, center of the building, away from windows, and cover yourself with blankets, pillows, or anything that you can find, maybe even a small mattress. And again, let's look at the debris on that. Well, no, that works. Let's see that first. And
That's showing 100 miles an hour or greater.
that's not
That's
good.
a good indication of where, this been shown here with the bearing system we have here. That's a good indication of where it thinks a tornado might be.
Yeah, so possible 100 mile per hour or greater winds. That can produce some damage, folks. Even if this is straight line wind, this can produce damage. It can produce damage to your home. It can down trees easily.
Right, we have an update from the amateur radio saying multiple houses on the County Road 4 and near County Road 450 are either damaged or destroyed. Okay, this is in southern DeKalb County. That just came across our chat room here with the NWS.
In the Aroni community. That's in the Aroni community. Again, trees down on County Road 26, possible tornado damage.
You can see maybe a slight signature just to the west of Portersville there, but it's not as defined as it was.
Yeah.
But again, the velocity couplet tells the story right here. The second county road, Tim, was 450.
So we're passing this along. Our producer in the back is just trying to get some information so that we can have folks head down there and check this out, make sure everyone is okay, and get the latest reports on what's going on with these storms and any damage reports down there in DeKalb County. 7.2 is the BTI, still pretty high, still a pretty significant threat of a possible tornado. And again, this is heading along I-59 toward Fort Payne. If you're in Fort Payne, I want you to go ahead and take your tornado precautions. Again, this warning, and I'm going to go back through it one more time. This tornado warning for DeKalb County goes until 1:45 a.m. and it's Doppler indicated, but again, we've had reports of damage, so likely there is possibly a tornado on the ground. And this was located at the time near Collinsville, moving northeast at 35 miles per hour. And let's kind of zoom out a little bit.
Yeah, I'm going to show you some, switch you over to fast track.
Yeah, I just want to see, so here's the warning right here. This is the entire warning. This is kind of the broader view. Here's Fort Payne. This includes Valley Head. If you're in Valley Head there, you folks, a lot of folks in Valley Head, you need to pay close attention and you need to go ahead and take your tornado precautions. Henniger, you're right on the line. Again, this is going to make a beeline toward Fort Payne and Valley Head if it holds together. So this is north of Cedar Bluff, and this is going to be Eider, you need to pay attention. Henniger, you need to pay attention. Scottsboro, this is staying to your east. So Scottsboro, this will be just to your east. Langston, this will be just to your east. But still very heavy rain and storms back toward Guntersville, Albertville, and Boaz. And we're tracking, yes, another tornado possible back to the southwest. So let's look at this storm first. Here's the possible rotation between Colburn and Portersville along I-59, pushing north and east right now. If you're in Colburn, you need to be in your safe place immediately. Take your tornado precautions. Don't mess with these storms. If you have friends and family in these areas, you need to get on the phone, call, wake them up, tell them to get to their safe place right now if you're there in DeKalb County. So again, these are the areas we're continuing to watch. Just taking a look here. Yeah, this is, and let's do this, and we were mentioning this earlier, and we may need to flip over to Viper.
Okay.
Let's get a good view, and there's the latest image there.
Okay, yeah, it was kind of updating.
It just updated. Let's go ahead and take another look at the BTI first. And
okay, I'll get that pulled up with Viper for you, and I'll switch it over.
And then what we want to do is, some point, still 7.6.
7.6.
Okay. Let's so here are the areas that will be impacted. So we'll talk about that. We're talking again Colburn right now, Hughes Mill, Douglas, Fort Payne, Minvale, Wills Valley, and Fisher Crossroads. These are the areas of impact. Now, what I want to do is zoom in real tight on this area.
Okay.
It will pop up some of those streets, those county roads, like what we were talking about earlier, because I think this will help folks in these areas that are a little bit more rural.
Right.
So we're talking about County Road 51 North. Here's North Valley Avenue. This is where the current possible tornado is. I'm gonna step this out so we can get a better view here. And what you're looking at now is County Highway, I believe that's 277.
Yes.
And County Road 130, County Road 28. So these are all the county roads that could be impacted as this moves to the northeast. Galt Avenue. Let's track a little further to the northeast of this.
Okay.
To get a better view. Yeah, so we're talking Dogtown Road southeast. There's Galt Avenue south.
And there's Fort Payne right there at the top of the screen. So
it's heading due northeast directly toward Fort Payne. So you folks there on the south end of Fort Payne, please go ahead and take shelter right now if you're in the Fort Payne community. And again, these are the areas of DeKalb County I was most concerned about. And earlier I mentioned about 45 minutes ago that usually these storms will intensify as they get into DeKalb County. I'm not sure what the reasoning is late at night, but this almost always happens with these type of systems. And look at that, we're still looking at 100-mile-per-hour winds heading toward Fort Payne. So either one, we have a tornado on the ground producing damage. Two, we have damaging wind that is also producing damage. One of the two is for certain. And we also possibly have some hail on the outer fringes of this, so there could be some hail as well. Again, nickel size, maybe pea size in some of those areas. So those are the threats right now. Circulation increasing, according to the National Weather Service, circulation increasing again along I-59 between Portersville and Colburn. That's what we've been talking about. Fort Payne right in the path. So National Weather Service, we're right in line. We're all on the same page here. And we're talking about this area heading toward Fort Payne. So Fort Payne, you're under the gun. Lakewood, Valley Head, you need to take tornado precautions. Fife, you're in the northern side, but still go to your safe place just in case. Rainsville, Sylvania, you're still in the warning. Go to your safe place just in case. But the areas that are most impactful are here along I-59.
I want to show you here, Spencer. It looks like we might be getting another debris signature here on our fast track computer. I'm going to pan up to the north and east and show you what I'm talking about here. You see that just northeast of Colburn?
Yep.
Right here. So it looks like this is about 4 miles south of Fort Payne. Again, it's not matching exactly with the velocity coupler, but it's very close. I do think that's probably some sort of debris there a little bit downstream of the circulation.
Yep. So that's something, let's see, we'll continue to watch. Let me see, I'm going to check a couple of places here, see if we're getting any reports out of DeKalb County. So you folks there in DeKalb County, if you are on any type of social media and you have reports, please let us know. Again, we may be, I think we have a tornado emergency at least for this area, if not for the tornado, at least for the wind. But I think we're definitely seeing a possible tornado emergency here when we're starting to see that debris signature
starting to reappear. Yeah,
reappear.
And it's riding right on the interstate too.
Yeah. So yeah, we're talking. And if let me tell you, folks, if you're in a mobile home and you can get to a safe shelter, I would advise you, or if you're downwind from this in Valley Head or Lakewood, I would advise you, if you're not far from a more sturdy shelter, to go ahead and head that way, okay? Because right now this storm has very dangerous wind with it. You need to be in a safe, sturdy shelter, or if you can, even be underground if possible.
Look at that, 112 in one direction.
Oh, yeah, this is definitely, there's something going on here For sure, this is definitely Fort Payne tornado emergency. Let's go ahead and call it Fort Payne tornado emergency. We're talking about potential for, if nothing else, 100 to 120 mile per hour winds moving into your area along I-59. Here's the scary part about this. This is actually going right along I-59. Instead of just crossing in one small section, it's actually going right down the interstate. So the folks that are on the interstate, whether it's semis, cars, trucks, SUVs, doesn't matter. This wind could easily topple over or carry and pick up some of these vehicles if this is actually as strong as it's starting to look on radar. So this is something certainly folks don't need to be traveling right now. Also, even here in Huntsville, we're getting reports of parts of I-565 flooding, causing some cars to hydroplane. So flooding becoming an issue out there. If you don't have to go out tonight on the roads, stay off the roads anywhere you're at. Okay, we've had major flooding issues in many areas. Now we're talking about a possible tornado on the ground, tornado emergency possible for Fort Payne. And again, and I'm just combing through some reports right now. Again, this is the area there in parts of southern and central DeKalb County. Let me flip over one more area here. And yeah, let's go over to... Okay, so far no other reports right now. Let's go over to the NWS chat and see what we're seeing there. Amateur reports, several homes, that report's been there for a few minutes. Again, several homes heavily damaged or destroyed around County Road 4 and County Road 450. That was in Rodentown in DeKalb County. So we're getting reports of possible damage. And based on what we're seeing on velocity and what we're seeing with the debris signature, possible large tornado on the ground heading toward Fort Payne. Hopefully, this will start to weaken here soon. Let's take a look at that debris signature one more time and see what we're looking at here.
We'll put you on fast track because it's better to see on that product here, but we'll pop it up and you can clearly see something's going on right here. Just to the south of Fort Payne, approaching the south side right now.
All right, so let's do this. Let's zoom in a little bit more and see if we can label a few of these streets that are being impacted. Zoom out and just to the north and east of this debris signature. So some of these streets here, and I'm going to step off just a second so I can actually we're talking about Adamsburg Road, Fruit Farm Road, Scenic Road, 11th Street, Jennings Road. What's this major thoroughfare coming through here? I want to make sure.
This right here would be the interstate, right?
Yeah, that's I-59 and
right here.
Yeah, just to the
Dogtown Road.
Dogtown Road, where we probably likely have some damage. Again, what is the major road here that winds around the northern side here?
This one?
Yeah.
Okay. Reese.
Yeah, Reese Road. So again, actually that's Wallace Avenue right there. So, all right, if you're in any of those areas heading into Fort Payne, I want you to be sure and take your tornado precautions now. Be inside a sturdy, safe shelter or inside the center of your home, whether it's inside a bathroom or interior hallway. Get in the tub, put something on top of you, put either a mattress or pillows and blankets, whatever you need to do. If you have a helmet, go ahead and stick that on. This is a significant debris signature showing up on the south side and the east side of Fort Payne now, moving right through the city. Let's flip back to the reflectivity.
Okay.
And, okay, let's zoom out just, you can kill all those, yeah. All right, so, all right, there's the storm and the possible, now let's go over to velocity and see where this.
There's one big rotation.
Yeah, it is. It's just one large rotation. Looks like some inflow back here on the back side of it almost. This is heading toward Valley Head. You're in the tornado warning. So, yeah, let's lapse that and see what this looks like. Still very significant. Not a whole lot of change with this. If you're in Fife, Rainsville, Sylvania, you need to be taking tornado precautions as well. You're in the northern side of that, northwest side of that whole system. Let's go ahead and check the BTI one more time on this storm.
Okay. Oh, yep, see, it's still peaking right there.
Yep.
Just to the south of Fort Payne.
Yep. 100 mile per hour, 100 miles per hour. So we're looking at possible straight line winds, possible hail with this. So I guess it's not showing the actual BTI number right now.
Oh, I'm not on the Viper system. The Viper system over here is still showing a BTI of 7.3.
7.3, okay.
Yes.
So that's what we're looking at. Train spotter reports hail, dime size hail reported, and that was in Skirum in DeKalb County. So we're seeing, and that doesn't surprise me. I fear we'd see dime to maybe even quarter size hail with this. Most of these storms have been producing potential small hail, but that's the least of our worries. We want to make sure these folks are.
And then we're watching this next one on its heels, coming out of northern Etowah as well. That tornado warning continues.
Right there.
So we'll continue to watch that storm as well. But again, the clear concern here is for the city of Fort Payne. Again, we've got the latest velocity signatures we were looking at, showing a pretty massive just circulation, one big spin in the atmosphere approaching the city there.
And I'm seeing some information from the DeKalb County EMA saying that the DeKalb County courthouse is open for shelter. Unfortunately, it may be too dangerous to try to head that way right now. But again, Blount County, Alabama EMA reporting trees down and injuries reported on New Hope Road. Also, let's see, looking at some other reports coming in here. Yeah, so we're still tracking this. Several homes heavily damaged. Again, we've been talking about in Aroni and Rodentown. So again, we'll continue to check on some of those areas. Let me look at some of these new updates here. If you're in Fort Payne, please go ahead and take shelter now. Head to your safe place if you haven't already. This storm is right on top of you, and hopefully it's not waking some folks up. It's actually they're already awake and in their safe place. Let's see.
You can see the winds right there. I queried a few of them, and still looking at between around 110 miles per hour of shear. So we're looking at a potential again for 100 mile per hour winds affecting this area, whether it be from a tornado or straight line wind. Sometimes it doesn't matter. Yeah,
either way, this is going to be some damaging wind heading right along I-59. Let's see. Yeah, that's all I'm seeing right now. I'm not seeing any other reports. So we're going to stay with you here with this storm in parts of DeKalb County. Tornado warning continues. Again, that goes until 1:45 a.m. for this portion of DeKalb County. Now, here's who I can go ahead and give you the all clear if you're in Portersville, Geraldine, or Crossville. Those areas are all clear for now for this storm. However, let's zoom back out because
oh, look, we got this circulation.
Yeah, so I can't
here.
really give you the all clear yet because now we got to watch this storm that's now south and east of Boaz. Possible rotation once again, moving northeast into parts of southern DeKalb County. So Crossville, stay where you're at. If you're in Geraldine, don't come out of your safe place. If you're in southeastern sections of DeKalb County, just hang tight because we're going to have to deal with another storm behind this one. This is storm number 1. That's storm number 2. Storm number 1 looks more intense right now on radar, but we'll see if this storm will hold together. If you're in Valley Head, you need to be taking shelter. Man, this looks like almost two different.
Right. This looks like what it did earlier coming into the county.
Yeah, looks like two different areas of rotation, one here and one here, and it's moving directly toward Valley Head. There's a beautiful area up here in Valley Head and heading over the mountain there. And again, we're talking about, here's some of the roads that we're looking at right now. And you can see some of those roads, State Highway 117, that goes directly through Valley Head. County Highway 137, here's I-59, County Highway 85. So all of these areas, if you live in these areas, you need to be taking shelter right now. You need to be in your safe place. Anywhere in Valley Head, Mentone, if you're going up over the mountain there in Mentone, you need to be in your safe place. I know some folks that live up there, and they need to certainly be taking their tornado precautions. Henniger, this is going to come very close, but just to your south and east. Sylvania, same thing. Rainsville, just to your south and east. And again, lots of intense lightning. Certainly some possible rotation as this pushes off to the east. So let's see if we're seeing any other updates here.
I'm not seeing anything yet from Huntsville. Again, we're continuing to watch those. I guess it's okay to say we now probably have two separate circulations, one just to the northwest of Fort Payne, and then the other one basically right on top of the city, just a little bit to the south and east. Both of them are tripping the shear arrow here on our fast track system. So again, our fast track computer thinking that both of these circulations could be have the ability to produce a tornado.
In Blount County, there's still damage reports coming out of Blount County. Roof missing from house on River Oak Circle. So this storm definitely has a history of producing damage. And unfortunately, folks, we still have to deal with another round tomorrow afternoon. So
and you know, it's interesting you mentioned that, because the day one outlook maintained that moderate risk. And so, it actually, unfortunately, was issued primarily for a tornado risk redeveloping basically from Jackson. They have the circle drawn from Jackson, Mississippi to Columbus over to about Gunnersville. So we're going to be having to watch some of the same areas tomorrow. But, you know, so I want you to, this is not the last of the threats, basically what we're trying to tell people. We're not trying to scare them again, but, we want you to be aware that, we need you to be weather aware tomorrow afternoon as well.
Yeah. So, so we're still tracking this storm. I'm still looking through the reports here. Again, just tracking the storm passing through portions of southern DeKalb County, now central DeKalb County. So again, if you're in Valley Head, let's go ahead and put a storm track on this and give folks a better idea of what we're seeing out there. And you folks there in DeKalb County, we're trying to give you as much lead time and heads up as possible with this potential for two different areas, what it looks like two different areas of rotation. Lakewood in 5 minutes, Valley Head within the next 15 minutes, maybe a little bit sooner than that. And this is going to head right over Mentone, State Highway 117 that goes into Georgia. Beautiful drive through there. And again, these areas are populated, but it's spread out. And so you have small communities here and there. And so you folks up there in, again, Lakewood and Valley Head, Fort Payne, this is already on top of you, and likely most of it has passed you. So if you have any reports out of Fort Payne, we would like to see those. Send those to weather@WAAY-TV.com. In fact, I'll step out real quick and check email real quick and make sure that I haven't gotten any reports from folks out there.
Yeah, and we're looking, the latest velocity scan looks like the storms are what we call occluding. Again, kind of the circulation kind of gets choked off from itself. But again, the velocity signature is still looking a little suspicious. So I don't want to try to lessen the threat here, even though the velocity signature may not be as impressive as what we were looking at earlier. I still want everybody in their safe place from Fort Payne northeast towards Valley Head and towards the Lake Howard community as well, back up I-59 towards the Georgia and Tennessee border back there. So again, just to the north and east of Fort Payne and DeKalb County. If you're just joining us, a tornado warning continues for DeKalb County, basically for the north and east of Fort Payne for another 15 minutes. That expires at 1:45 a.m. But again, we're also tracking, go ahead and show you this, we're also looking at another thunderstorm that is capable of producing a tornado now. Spencer, looks like we have two separate circulations here. One weak one back in the back side of this storm, but clearly the dominant one now crossing into DeKalb County here. We'll see what the Weather Service is going to do with that warning as well, and see if they're going to warn for this one. And Crossville, again, Spencer mentioned earlier, we thought we could give you the all clear, but it looks like that's coming right up the beeline again there. So Geraldine, Crossville, Collinsville, you need to be back in your safe place again, even though there's no tornado warning in place. We want you to go ahead and assume that there is, because that circulation continues to look rather impressive. And again, that looks like that might be looking at about 80 to 90 miles per hour worth of shear on that storm as well. So again, while the northern circulation is not looking as impressive, we don't want to take away from the threat here, because we can take a look here at some of the winds north and east of Fort Payne with our Barron button here. I want to see what that's doing, and not as intense as it was, so that is some good news. We can look here and see at least a greater than 80 miles per hour. It's thinking of shear or wind here just to the east of Fort Payne. So again, that can still cause some damage. And if we pan down to the south and to the west here, we can check this storm as well. Only registering some, only about 60 to 70 miles per hour. So again, maybe things are weakening, but again, we are not prepared to go that far, folks. So again, we have this tornado watch that goes for another hour and a half for DeKalb and Marshall County in our viewing area. And again, we've got that tornado warning in place for DeKalb County. Again, that's for the north and eastern part there of the county until 1:45, so another 15 minutes. And again, with that, got that circulation crossing out of Etowah County into southern DeKalb once again. And again, we're going to be watching that closely. It still looks fairly wrapped up here. And we can see that the Weather Service in Birmingham continues the tornado warning for far northern Etowah County until 1:45. But basically, that circulation is just about all the way into Etowah County, DeKalb County, so we can give Etowah County an all clear. But also, I'm seeing Birmingham Weather Service office issuing some additional tornado warnings down to the south, Clay County, Autauga County, and Elmore County. Portions of those counties underneath the tornado warning right now as well from the Birmingham office. So again, we're going to watch things closely here. Still haven't heard anything from the Weather Service. I haven't seen any more reports come across the chat room with respect to this storm. But again, we want to look here just to the east of Fort Payne. I think that's the best chance of seeing some significant wind damage, at least. Maybe not from a tornado anymore, but again, our Barron threat detection still is suggesting that we may have at least 80 miles per hour worth of winds here, now pressing to the north and east of Fort Payne, and now pressing towards generally the Valley Head community in the far northeastern sections of the county. They're approaching the Georgia border.
Yeah, so while we continue to watch this storm, and there's the latest update, it's looking a little less intense there. And let's take a look at that debris signature one more time. Let's see what we're looking at.
Still might be something there, you know,
Yeah.
but it looks like, it looks like a linear feature, so it might be, trying to suggest that it might be straight line wind damage.
Yeah, so we'll keep an eye on this. We want to remind folks and pass along the information to the folks here that I'm seeing reports now that 2 people were confirmed dead in Lincoln County, Tennessee, unfortunately, due to the tornadoes up there in Lincoln County. That was confirmed at the Lincoln County Hospital. So looks like these storms continue tonight. We're getting reports, unfortunately, of damage and injuries out there from some of these tornadoes, and so hopefully we won't have any more at this point. Hopefully these storms will weaken enough that they're just some damaging wind, and they don't do major damage or major structural damage to anyone. So here's a look at what's going on out there, and again, we're looking at most areas of the valley, seeing this storming activity come to an end, except in the eastern sections of the state. So if you're west of I-65, all clear for you tonight. You're all clear. Florence, all clear. Decatur, all clear. Hartselle, Russellville, Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, Fayetteville. Here in Huntsville, still some storms on the eastern side, but all clear. The main threat for storms tonight still across DeKalb, southern Marshall, parts of Marion, or not Marion, but in the parts of Cherokee and Etowah County, and then stretching off to the north there. But again, this is all mainly to the east of well to the east of I-65. So most areas of the Tennessee Valley are done tonight. However, we have another threat probably in about 12 hours. So we're talking about another round of potential storms, and there could be more tornadoes in the afternoon later today. And I don't say tomorrow, I say later today as we move into Tuesday now. So we could be doing this again in the afternoon hours. But right now, tornado warning, the back edge has been peeled off. Looks like they've let that warning expire.
For Etowah, that's correct.
For Etowah. So we're left with this one little piece moving through Valley Head that will continue to cross over into Georgia. And again, we're sticking with you there. You folks in Valley Head, a lot of lightning there now in the Mentone Valley Head area as it pushes off into parts of Georgia. Ider, Henniger, you're on the northern side of this. This will continue. There's the state line. He's drawn the state line. So this is going to cross over here shortly into Georgia. But you folks there need to stay in your safe place in Ider, Henniger, Valley Head, any points in between along I-59 as this storm continues to push through parts of DeKalb County, now eastern and northeastern DeKalb County.
That's correct. Again, the tornado warning, the Weather Service in Huntsville continuing that tornado warning for DeKalb County until 1:45. So again, I think they are, as a course of least regret, based on the types of damage that we have seen over the course of the day and night tonight. Even with not the best circulation, again, we continue to watch this thunderstorm. Again, it still has a lot of lightning, and sometimes when the radar signature isn't the best, when you still see that lightning data continuing to be widespread like that, that could be sometimes a indicator that a tornado may still be involved with this storm. But again, that's it's not too far from the Georgia border here. But again, we still have a little bit more of DeKalb County to go after that polygon cuts off. So again, we'll see if they issue again for that sliver of DeKalb County here. But again, that's not much more landmass of the state of Alabama before we can get this off into Georgia. We can pass it off to the Atlanta television market there. And again, we're watching this storm. I'm watching the Viper computer on the beside me here, and we've still got a circulation approaching Crossville. It's not a tornado warned storm, but again, I want still people in Crossville. Again, it's right on top of you right now. I'll show you, Spencer, what I'm talking about here in Crossville. You can see just here over the community there. It's not the best signature, but again, still looking a little bit suspect. And so I would be a little uneasy if I were coming out of my safe place. So again, we just want you in your safe place if you're in Geraldine and Crossville for about the next 20 minutes or so. But again, there's no formal tornado warning for Crossville or Geraldine. So I want to make that perfectly clear. There is no tornado warning for these communities. But again, we advise people if you're waking up to go ahead and go to that safe place or stay there if you're already there. And again, for about the next 8 minutes, we have this tornado warning continuing up here in east, central, and northeast DeKalb County here. I'm going to turn on our Barron button here and see what kind of winds we've got. Again, this area is continuing to decrease in size. That is some good news. Still 58 miles per hour, which is technically still severe criteria. So again, we're still looking at maybe some severe winds gusting up to 60 miles per hour with this storm as it moves towards the Valley Head community. So again, if you live in the Valley Head community and then points towards the east, towards the Georgia border, I still want you in a safe place for about the next 15 to 20 minutes. This storm gradually, again, we're still moving pretty slowly here at about 20 to 30 miles per hour, but finally, hopefully we can get that storm out of here and into the Atlanta television market, and hopefully we won't have any more tornado warnings again, but again, we can't promise that. We're still tracking some storms now into the southwestern portion of DeKalb County, but it looks like, Spencer, thankfully, I'm looking on the Viper here, and there is no more storms in Etowah or Blount County back behind the one in Crossville right now. So hopefully, if the Crossville one manages itself and doesn't get any more severe, once we can get this tornado warning out of DeKalb County, we might can send things back to regular programming. Yeah, and it looks like I was looking at I'm not seeing a whole lot of information now coming out of DeKalb County yet. So. And who knows, hopefully that's a good thing. That means there might not be
as much damage from this as we could have seen. So again, we're staying with you here on WAAY-31. We're approaching 2 a.m. This warning goes for another close to 5 minutes. So right at 5 more minutes, we'll stick with you. If you're in Valley Head, Eider, or Henniger, stay in your safe place until we can say all clear. Fort Payne, you're all clear at this point. Langston, Geraldine, Albertville, pretty much all clear, although Geraldine, we're still watching that circulation to your south. But for now, you folks in Fort Payne are all clear until this next storm comes through. We'll have to keep an eye on it. But again, like Isaac said, hopefully that storm is going to weaken just a little bit. And let me take a closer look at this. And yeah, it's still, man, there's still a little bit of rotation there around Crossville.
I'll pull up the Viper here on our graphic system.
So, so we'll stick with you on this. If you're in Crossville, at the least there, you're probably seeing more gusty winds, possibly 50, 60 mile per hour winds with that. There are no warnings on it right now, but certainly something that we have to keep an eye on. But the main threat still up there across portions of, man, it's still a BTI of 7.0.
It looks like it might be trying to tighten back up again. Maybe some of the elevation changes are helping in that. But again, that shear is still 70, and the BTI still a 7, so that's still pretty significant.
Some of the areas in the path: Hammondville, Taylor Ford, Bankhead, Riverdale. Let me zoom in a little tighter here. Here we go. County Road 137. And so we're basically looking at these areas here, the eastern DeKalb County, and including Mentone, Bankhead, Battelle, and Head River. And the warning area, actually the circulation is about to exit the warning area. So it'll be interesting to see if they issue this for this small portion, including Kalen and Rogers, and Taylor Ford, and Bankhead. Bankhead's actually out of the warning. Valley Head's in it. Mentone, you're technically out of the warning, but you're right there at the curve, at the turn. But it doesn't look like there's cloudland there in Georgia, and this is going to go just west of Cloudland and just west of Neal Crossing in Georgia. We have some viewers in Georgia. I've actually heard from some, and again, these areas, this is pushing off to the north and to the east into portions of Georgia. So we'll stick with you on this storm. Still a fairly tight little rotation, and let's look at
So is that one in Geraldine?
Yeah, let's see. Let's see here. We'll go back to. Yeah, that Geraldine storm is starting to ramp up a little bit too. So we'll look at this one more time. Yeah, still 63 mile per hour. There's not much on the
Outbound,
but the inbound's still pretty impressive. So at the least, there's probably some upper level rotation, maybe some winds reaching the surface. So we're still watching a tornado warning that continues for about
1 more minute.
1 minute, and then this tornado warning will expire. If this expires, unless they reissue for this area down here in Geraldine, we will go back to programming here at 1:45 a.m. Continue to watch these couple of storms. Make sure that they don't produce any more possible tornadic activity, and then we will cut back in if possible. But again, we're with you here at 1:45 a.m. Let's see if any update from the National Weather Service.
Haven't heard anything yet.
Continues until 1:45. So it looks like they're just going to probably let it expire. Otherwise, they would had mentioned that they're going to extend it by now. So you folks there in Fort Payne, again, we'll watch this storm down to your south and west. Geraldine, Crossville, some gusty wind, Fife to Portersville. And so what we're looking at is Valley Ed, Rogers, Eider, Henniger. These areas still possible rotation with this storm, but again, it doesn't look like we're not getting any reports. So far, we haven't had any reports out of Fort Payne of damage, and we likely would have seen something by now. So that's something we'll have to keep an eye on. I'm going to check and make sure I'm not seeing anything. Okay, so we're seeing unconfirmed reports on Twitter that the tornado was not on the ground in Fort Payne.
And that might make sense, you know, because that circulation kind of broadened out as it approached. So if something was down, it could have lifted right there. It's like they are letting this expire for now. Okay, so they're letting the tornado warning expire for now. They're not going to reissue. So that would mean as of 1:45 a.m., we now currently no longer have tornado warnings across the Tennessee Valley. Let's take one more look at that cell that's just down to the south. Again, we're watching the cluster of storms here in DeKalb County. Watching this area near Geraldine. There's still a little bit of suspicious activity there. Let's go back to the velocity. And again, might be some localized rotation there between Geraldine and Crossville. This is moving off to the north and east, but no warning at this time. No indication that they're going to issue a warning for this. Certainly could be some gusty winds with that storm as it continues to push over the same area. So more storms for you folks there in Fort Payne and Portersville moving off to the north. So what I'm going to do right now, no warnings, no tornado warnings. And it looks like even that last image, it kind of weakened a little bit too. So that's certainly some good news. So what we'll do is we will go back to programming right now. It's 1:50 in the morning. And if any other warnings do come out here in DeKalb County, we'll cut back in with you. But overall, after these storms, this couple of storms moves into Georgia. Looks like the severe weather threat will be over for the entire Tennessee Valley for this morning. And we'll transition to another threat by the afternoon. So we'll have to be back here with you early in the afternoon to track what could be more strong to severe thunderstorms as the main front rolls through, and then finally all this clears out. So for Isaac Williams, I'm Spencer Denton. We're watching the weather. We'll keep you advised.
We knew we had to try to get him out.
The firefighters spring into action to save Bill's life.
We attempted to walk out into the water as far as we could, and it got too swift and too deep. And so we backed out